This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome.
Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Ivan's got stubby fingers right now.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it was on loop tracks. That's the problem.
Yeah. We'll have to talk to our auto engineer there. Coming from the 606 Media Studios, this is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. This week featuring Stevie-B from the No Water on the Weekend and Ivan from the Tape Never Lies Network. This is episode 166, brought to you by 606 Media, true Chicago sports fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingcompany.com and get your, don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official TCSF shirts now. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show. And if it's your first time or you're a long timer, please remember to hit that subscribe button. Smash. That's right. Hit that notify button and go ahead and give us a review on your listening app of choice. 5 stars, nothing less, baby. You can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. You can find us on IG at True Chicago Sports Fans, 606 Media Group, and Big Z _ 606 Media Group. Don't forget you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm / True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and click on the support link, and then you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month.
That's it.
That's it. It's cheaper than your morning coffee or any kind of vice that you may have, gentlemen. So it's a live episode once again, and it is a jam-packed episode, jam-packed house. The Bears finally win at home since week 3 of 2022. Chicago loves their backup quarterback, and we'll talk all about that. There's plenty of love for Agent Bagent. Connor Bedard scores his first NHL goal at the UIC. The Bulls wrap up the preseason 1-4, but will the big three make it throughout the season? All that and much, much more. But it's time to talk football. There's nothing else in Chicago going on, really. It is time to talk football. So let's talk Bears football. This is 3 and Out. All right, guys, I got a surprise for you and everyone that is listening and watching. We have a special guest, the man with the most famous bear cave, pun intended, Josh Havens. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How's it going, man?
Okay.
Good, Josh.
There he is. Josh, that fan cave is incredible. It is incredible. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. You already got fans watching you already. Look at this. Bring it in, people. Yeah. We want to talk about the fan cave first, or you want to talk Bears football, guys? What do we want to do?
I think we should talk about Bears football. I mean, the Bears won, right?
Okay.
I know.
All right.
I'm not crying.
All right. So if you're not familiar with this, Josh, we do first, second, third down, and then we punt it out. So we get 4 main points, and there's going to be a lot of discussion, a lot of arguments. But let's start with first down. Lots of complimentary football, all aspects of the game. Quarterback play was great for a backup. The defense showed up, did what it's supposed to do with a new defensive coordinator / I guess head coach. I mean, we want to call him that. And special teams showed up, did what their job. You know, we had 1 field goal, and it was an all-around great game. So let's start off with our guest. Josh, what was your impression of this week's game?
Like just what you said, complimentary football. I think it was probably one of the most well-rounded games I've seen in a while, where it kind of felt like we had it under control from the get-go. A lot of games, like the Minnesota game, you could see basically first snap that we were probably in trouble that game.
Oh, yeah.
This game felt the opposite. It actually felt like we were in control from the get-go, and just had that different vibe, I guess.
Ivan?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was something different. You know, I mean, it was something different. You had the running game going. You had the defense working. I think the defense in the past 3 weeks quietly has stepped up their game. Finally coming through with the turnovers, had a pick 6, which we haven't seen in years? Has it been that long? I mean, I don't remember if they had one last year, but the defense, you know, wasn't great. So looking at it moving forward, if they can continue to take these small steps, I think the Bears defense is right on track to becoming. I'll say this. I'll take a big step and say if they can continue like this trajectory, they could finish in the middle of the pack. I'd feel like, and I think that's a huge step from where they were last year. So just continue to play good football. Continue to generate turnovers, and good things will happen for the Bears defense. The running game, I think, was the most important because it helped Tyson Bagent out a lot. You saw how well Deonta Foreman was running. I think that if continue to, and it doesn't matter which running back is in there, because I think all the running backs that we have in that bullpen there are pretty good, and they could do that. So whoever's there, go ahead and utilize them. And whether it's Justin Fields or not, like for instance, let's say it was Justin Fields, take away these design runs. Justin Fields, if he's going to run because the play is broken, fine. But if you're going to go ahead and run him continuously, these things are going to happen. It finally happened this year with the injury. So I think if you're going to go ahead and pay these guys to play running back for you, use them instead of using your quarterback who's supposed to, and I get he's a great athlete, but you're trying to develop him as a passer, are we not? And if that's not the case, then what are we doing? Tyson Bagent, I can't say much. Like, he was fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Lightning quick with the release. And it seemed like he belonged, man. And he seemed like he belonged pretty much throughout the preseason. I was real frustrated last week because I saw the bad. And obviously maybe it was just rookie jitters. But to be honest with you, there's nothing bad I could say about Tyson Bagent this week. And moving forward, if he will be the starter going into this week, I think you're going to see a lot of good things.
Ivan?
I am Ivan.
I'm sorry. Steven, sorry.
There we go. Yeah, thanks. No, I feel good with my pick because I've been saying Tyson's been a stud since I was watching preseason. I mean, I'm always right with my picks on this show if we keep count. Not to toot my own horn in front of Josh, but I just thought the passing the boot, the screens, the screens, everything looked good. It looked easy. 1-2 seconds. The ball was out of the kid's hand. Looking like a stud. The running game, 3 touchdowns, right? That's what he got.
2 rushing, one.
Right. And that guy, I was like saying the whole game, his legs were unstoppable. Like, he was just pounding through, pulsating through the actual defense. So I was just great. And the defense is, again, what Ivan was saying for 45 minutes already on the show. But no, Ivan had his spot on. Like, he got the picks, then the points across. Like, defense was great.
Josh, what was the atmosphere at the beginning of the game when the chatter of, hey, Tyson Bagent is starting, and what was the feeling at the cave when the game started?
I'd say mixed. We got a lot of a few Fields haters here, and then we got some guys that are excited about seeing Bagent. So I guess it was probably about mixture of 50-50. Like you said before, the most intriguing thing in Chicago is always the backup quarterback.
Yep.
And because I think we've been quarterback starved for all these years, when one guy fails just a little bit, we want to see what the backup does, and I think that's what the feeling was at the cave this weekend. So.
Josh, go ahead. Go ahead, Ivan.
How many games do you attend usually? I mean, you have the cave, which is spectacular, by the way. But how many games do you usually attend per year?
It just depends. So the year before last, I went to one. Last year, I actually made my first trip to Green Bay, and then I went to 2 games at Soldier Field, and then Soldier Field. Then we went to Detroit for New Year's Day. Okay. And then this year, I was gonna go to the Raiders game. I was a little irritated with the team and didn't know if I wanted to go and spend the money. So, and this is the first year we're doing a food drive for our local pantry. So, guys bring food to donate, and then we're going to donate it. So, figured if I'm here more this year, then we can get that done probably better. So,
okay,
nice.
That's awesome.
The atmosphere at the stadium was by far exciting.
Were you there?
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
I told you last episode.
No, but you said you were going to the Viking games too, and you're like, "Oh, my mom said rain."
Yeah,
all that,
and it didn't
rain.
rain.
It was a beautiful day, so I
Josh,
didn't flake out
2
again.
weeks in a row, there was last week opportunity and stuff like that, and then so
I heard the last episode, and I heard you were debating going because of the the weather. So
Yeah, no, it was fine. I love the cold, but it's just like, it's not a big deal. But also it's a hassle of getting over there, which is also a pain. Parking, I think one of them was like $95, and I'm like, no thanks. So it's
I
always
would
exciting.
have dropped you off for 50.
Yeah, and what happened to you this weekend? Someone didn't feel that well.
Yeah, I had food poisoning Friday, so I mean I was okay by Sunday. I was able to drive.
I don't know if you're stuck in traffic and you got to use the restroom. There's no pulling over if you're getting anywhere close to leaving Soldier Field. So
yeah, bye socks.
yeah, both pairs and maybe even a couple of shoes, depending on where we live and how far traffic is. But yeah, no, atmosphere was great. It was like all exciting and everyone was having a good time, and that's very rare. I mean, you're going 383 days without a Bears win in Soldier Field, I believe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was since 2022. So that's insane for a fan base that's so starved for a winning Bears team. Like this fan base just supports this team year after year, and it's just you keep just kicking us in the nuts, and we're just coming back.
Or it just feels like you're getting rejected. Like you finally got the prettiest girl at the party, and you got to take her on a date. That's how it felt with this win, right?
Speaking from experience over there, huh?
A little bit. It's all about timing, Jose. It's not. Yeah, I don't know.
You're lurking in the shadows in the bushes over there, man.
With binoculars, if we're gonna go that far, yeah.
All right, let's go over some stats over here. Still with first down, Tyson Bagent with 21 out of 29 for 162, one touchdown. We said that he played his nuts off over there. He gave us what the defense. He produced what the defense gave him. He was an open man. If he not, he rolled out. He threw the ball away. He ran for I think 24 yards. Yeah, 3 rushes for 24 yards. He did what a quarterback is supposed to do: get rid of the ball, let the running back do his job, and find what the defense gives you, and just execute that. You don't have to be Brett Favre. You don't have to force the ball. So we knew. We saw that this is what he was going to give us. What surprised us, like Ivan said, was the running game. Like we should be using that every single game to protect Fields, and that's just not happening. Why isn't that happening, guys?
I think the offensive line, just the continuity hasn't been there. I don't think we've had the starting line that actually went into training camp together once this year. So it's the in and out with Nate Davis, Cody Whitehair moving all over. Now you got Tevin Jenkins moving over to the other side of the guard. So it just hasn't been the continuity to me of just getting the running game down. So that's my take on it, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was going off what Josh said. It is the running game, but also I'm gonna say it. Tyson getting the ball out, moving, and even if he didn't see a play, and also he would like run out and he got a first down off. I think he was like 3 and 7. I think one of the places that he actually ran out of bounds, but he got the first down. And then also, like how he is, right? And then he was doing that, right? The hand gesture, like getting the crowd pump. That was awesome. And then the fact that when he throws a ball, you could see him not even looking at the wide receiver, but it's like just going. Like if you're an actual professional quarterback in the league,
he uses his eyes to defenders.
Right. So I think that shows 4 years of college, even though it's D2. Apparently, that's a big deal in some people's eyes. Not saying you guys, but I'm just saying what I've been hearing the last all day today. But other than that, that's pretty much my take on that.
No, I mean, he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and his experience, even though it was at Shepherd, his experience, he had way more. There's like about 1,000 more. I'm not sure the number. It's close to 1,000 more like reps at quarterbacks, at completions and attempts. So it's like, you got to take into account that experience at that level. He played at the highest level he possibly could in D2. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a type of swagger. You have to have a type of swagger to you to be, and I get people think that it's a lesser type of football. You could only play who you play. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to that school, you could only play who you play, and you could only be the best player you could be. So if you're able to go ahead and be, head and shoulders above the rest at a D2 school, scouts are going to end up finding you. And like they've done it time and time again. And, we talk about Tyson Bagent, but there's been so many more guys. Like there's other people that talk about a Brock Purdy, even though he went to a bigger school in Iowa State. But like, if you're able to play, they're going to fucking find you. And he's just able to do the job, man. Like right now, he seems like, I'll just say he seems like the perfect backup. I don't know what he's going to develop into, but I'm happy to see that he's competent enough coming from Division II to learn an NFL offense, to beat out, he beat out PJ Williams.
Peterman.
And Nathan Peterman. Mm-hmm. But, he's just been consistent the entire time he's been with the team. And that's something that, like, you have to take into account going forward. Like, this kid has something about him that you really like.
So big question here is, how upset were you with DJ Moore dropping that pass in the end zone?
Pretty pissed. I
needed those fantasy points.
Time.
That's what I needed.
Yeah, right.
That's what I needed.
Everybody needed fantasy points, but I was pretty pissed because I thought it was an easy, catch. It was a perfect ball. It should have been an easy catch.
Yeah.
I don't know. He made it look very hard, difficult at that moment. I just, as good as he is, it didn't look good.
Josh, you didn't jump in the pool after that, did you?
No. It's covered now, so yeah, pool season's over.
I'll do it. I'll still do it.
Man, I didn't feel good for a couple days after that.
Yeah. By the time it's probably all ice.
Yeah, it's got a little layer on it right now, probably.
Oh, man. All right, let's move over to second down. Now we're talking about quarterbacks. We talked about both Justin Fields and Tyson Bagent. Justin Fields with dislocated thumb. We don't know what timeline yet. The coach has already said Justin Fields is quarterback number one, but we don't know how long this injury is going to linger. They already said he doesn't need surgery. How long should the Bears go with the backup?
I think as long as you need to until Justin comes back. You're in a predicament here where Justin is in his last year, right? You have Tyson Bagent. You could go ahead and sign Tyson Bagent to a contract extension pretty cheap, right? So you can afford Tyson Bagent. You don't know if you can afford $19 million or whatever it's going to be for a 5th-year option on Justin Fields, and you have to go ahead and see it through. So for me, if Justin's healthy, he should be starting. And if Tyson Bagent, if he's not, and Tyson Bagent has to come into action, or if he's not good, and he's playing poorly, and you just, hey, this is it, we made a decision, fine. But you got to give him the longest leash possible in order to understand if he's that guy or not. If you could fix what the hell you've been seeing, because we saw some good stuff in a couple games, and we've seen flashes even last year, but it just hasn't completely come together. It just seems like there's just flashes and there's pieces missing to his game that he just needs to add. Justin Fields is, I believe he has all the talent in the world. I just think he needs to slow himself down, understand that he doesn't have to make the big play every single time, and things will get better.
Josh?
I'd go along with that too. I think Justin needs to be in there probably as long as possible. A lot of this too, I think is going to come down to the draft. I mean, if we start winning and Carolina gets a few wins, you might be picking 3rd or 4th and maybe 7th. Then do you keep Justin and they do what they did with Mitch and let the 5th year ride and let him play a 4th year, and then decline the 5th year, but maybe re-sign him if he has a killer 4th year? So there's a lot of things up in there. I think the draft is going to determine that part of it, but I think you have to let him play it out and see where he's at. Like I said, because if we're picking 4th, it's a lot different than picking 1 and 2. So
correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna let this guy go. I would let Justin Fields go. Because I'm like, get something for him to not get anything, because there's an article or a rumor going on right now that they could trade him at the trade deadline. I mean, I don't know how truth that is, but I'm just saying if that's in the air, that's an option. I mean, again, what Josh said about the draft, so that goes into an effect because, like, if Tyson doesn't win or stuff like that, But I honestly, I don't even think we're gonna re-sign Justin because of like we've only seen spurts of greatness. We've seen him run. Each game, you don't know what Justin you're gonna get from the Commanders win to the Denver game to the Chiefs game to anything like that. I don't see him being a Bear for next year or stuff like that. I think they're gonna hit the reset thing again.
All right.
If you trade him, I think the problem you're gonna run into is like what happened last year with Roquan and losing the locker room. We didn't win after Roquan got traded until last week, and as popular as Justin is, I just feel like if he's traded before in the next week or so, I feel like you're going to totally lose the locker room. Even if Dalen goes, these guys are already sticking up for their friends, and I just think it would be bad for the locker room. I think if they traded him now.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree, Josh. It would kill the locker room. One, it shows that the front office is not willing to pay players who can produce. It doesn't show continuity. You've got to see this kid needs more seasoning. This just, Matt Nagy, who we are not a fan of, was saying that Justin isn't ready. And they had to put him there because of the quarterback got hurt. So I think that Justin right now is getting a reality check. One, you can't be Michael Vick and run through walls and expect not to get hurt. Two, now that you're hurt, you should watch what this kid is doing and take some notes. Get rid of the ball quicker. It's going to be more efficient. You're going to get more passes. The offense will open up if you get rid of the ball quicker because now you're in an up-tempo offense. You can use all of the weapons that you have. You have a stronger arm. You should be able to do a lot better than our backup quarterback is doing. And if you're using a running game, it's taking pressure off of you. Now we're moving the offensive line forward instead of them backwards on top of you or you getting all the pressure. We're not going to get that perfect pocket. We don't have the best offensive line, but they're doing great for the kid because he's getting rid of the ball in under 3 seconds. If Justin can make those adjustments of getting rid of the ball within 3 seconds instead of 6 and 7 seconds, you're going to see a big difference in the offense.
Now, don't you think everyone's complaining about coaching, but the game was called somewhat similar a little bit with Justin than with Tyson? Don't you think like it's a little bit
From last year?
No, I'm
From
saying for
last
this
week, I mean?
season. Yeah.
I really disagree.
No,
I think the offense is the same.
No.
I'm
There
just
was
saying.
way more.
do
There
you
was
think
more under
they
center. There was more. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Is it coaching because they're probably calling the same plays all the time? The only difference is the coach or the quarterback. That's what I'm saying.
I don't agree. I think that the game plan was to run the football heavy and have Tyson Bagent, pick the open man, like not go ahead and necessarily take a big shot because I do believe that there's a limit to his arm. Like they wouldn't bring in Nathan Peterman to go ahead and try to heave a ball if they didn't have a question about that arm. And I'm not saying that he doesn't, he can't throw a missile here and there. I'm just saying maybe he doesn't have the arm strength to get it as far as a Justin Fields. And that's not necessarily a
knock.
It is a knock, but it's not necessarily something that's going to.
I think he does have a strong arm because his dad was the arm wrestler champion here, so he may have a strong arm. We don't know that yet.
I don't think so.
Josh, what's your take?
I don't know about the arm strength, but I think the line consistency has a lot to do with it. You saw what we did in Washington when Justin had time; he was slinging it all over. Had one of his best games. Then you come to Minnesota where they blitz heavy and the line fell apart. The snaps were awful. They're blocking each other. It was a mess. Now look at yesterday. The line played phenomenal again. I thought didn't give up much. Max Crosby got in there. I think 1 sack. And it feels like we're so inconsistent on the line. I think if we get some consistency every game, we can get a fair take on what these guys can do.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying all along. The offensive line is key to the success of the Bears, especially because we want a high output offense, and you can't do that when you have different pieces moving in and out. We have a quarterback who's not making reads. One big difference I did see between the quarterbacks is that Tyler Bagent was like calling the play and saying, "Hey, you're on the wrong side. Move over here." He was taking more control of the line. I felt like he understands the offense and where everything has to be, where it's, I know what this play is going to do. I see the defense. I know what they're going to do. And I don't feel that comfortable saying that Justin does that.
I agree with that 1000%.
I don't know. I mean, if you watch all the, I mean, I'm the super fan, of course, but I watch all these press conferences, and Getzy says that that's one of his best things he's been doing this year is actually getting the plays corrected at the line. But maybe that's him just saying it, sticking up for his player too. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes if these guys are, they're not blaming each other, sticking up for each other, but who's at fault sometimes. So
awesome. One thing I want to give the flowers to in third down is our coach, our head coach, who is now the defensive coordinator. As you've seen, and Ivan hinted at it earlier, is that the defense, and so did Josh, hinted that the defense has shown up in the last couple of weeks, and we've gone from the bottom of the barrel to midpoint, a little bit above midpoint in defense in the NFL. We're seeing a lot more pressures. We've seen a couple of interceptions, a pick six. We're seeing a little bit more cohesive. I know we got some pieces back in the last couple of weeks, but we're seeing that defense in that cover two actually be relevant instead of being that bend don't break. Now we're being more of a factor. What do you guys think?
I think the back part of the D is playing phenomenal right now. The cornerbacks and safeties, even with Eddie Jackson gone most of the time, it seems like the last few games they've been just killing it, giving their guys time to get in there, get a little bit more pressure than they have been. But I think just the back end of the field or the secondary has just been, I think it's been lights out the last several games. So
yeah, I think JJ did really well too on being in the corner, getting those 2 picks. And that was the first time in a while, I think, since we had 2 interceptions in one game from a corner. So I mean, I am interested in the call playing is different, but I just say JJ did really well and he got a game ball. So there was 3 of them, I think. But I loved it.
Yeah, we did have 3 interceptions, 2 by Jalen.
Jalen
Jalen Johnson, he's the one asking for the money, right?
I'm not paying him the money he thinks he. We'll see what he wants, but in my opinion, I think he's trying to be paid as one of the top corners in the league. And I'm like, you don't produce enough. I mean, granted, he had 2 picks last week. That's 3 for his career here. Like that's not enough. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. I'm just
dollar. I'm not. Yeah, that's just where I'm at.
And he's hurt once. He's hurt once a year. Always. He's always hurt for a week or 2.
Always hurt. Yep.
Yeah. What's our impression of Tyreek Stevenson?
I think he makes rookie mistakes. I think but man, he can hit, and I don't see him missing any tackles. Honestly, when he gets close to you, you're going down. So I like his aggressiveness. I thought he played decent yesterday, and for being a rookie, I think the sky's the limit for that guy if he can keep going the way he is. He doesn't seem to get hurt or anything like that, and plays tough on the outside.
He hits hard as a motherfucker. Yeah. He could lay the.
Are you learning from experience?
Huh?
What?
No, I was saying for Ivan, have you seen it in person, experienced it in person?
Yeah, I have.
No, okay. I'm just saying.
Steven likes to throw a little wrench here and there.
Yeah.
So we got Brisker with 9 tackles and 1 assist. Edwards with 6 tackles, 2 assists. Stevenson with 6 tackles. Kyler Gordon 4 and 3. I mean, just our whole defense had some tackles. And is the hits principle now taking place? It is everyone bought in and everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing? Is that what the defense is doing now?
I think so. I mean, the tackles I think last year, if you saw the missed tackles we had, that's gotten a lot better. I mean, I don't see them as much as we did even the last year. It was just awful last year, obviously, and I don't see it as much. I mean, when they get a one-on-one, these guys are getting them down. I mean, if you look for the single tackles or solo tackles, there's quite a bit if you look in the stat line. So I think the only thing with the hits principle is I'm not seeing the strips and the turnovers, obviously, on that part of it. We just started getting interceptions. So, they preach the strip sack or the strips or the strip sacks and the interceptions, but I don't know if that's totally taking place, but I guarantee the tackling's a lot better than it was last year.
Yeah, we're not seeing the one-arm tackles anymore. The fake just going to grab you or going for the shoelace. You're not seeing that anymore. What's your impression of the defense?
I think there's still issues with tackling, but it's getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think that you need to really go ahead and stress, because like these guys are all young and they're building. Like I said, step by step. If they could go ahead and take another step with this game coming up against the Chargers, and just string together a few good games and really get going, I think that'll speak to the continuity of the locker room, of the defensive side. So I just think they need to keep playing smart football, generate turnovers, no penalties. I know Jalen Johnson had a big penalty this past Sunday, but he made up for it. So just continue to take little steps and get better.
Yeah, I can completely agree with you. I think the offensive line again and the offense in general needs to clean up their offensive penalties. I think we had like over 100 yards in penalties. I think 2 were on Komet. I just like dumb stuff that kind of kills the drive, that makes it harder, especially with a backup quarterback. If they can clean that up, the defense plays exactly how they've been playing, I think we're going to be okay going forward. And then, our prediction of 7 wins is actually attainable.
I believe anything you guys saying, I'm agreeing with at this point, because like I agree. I'm not adding any more to that because you guys said the correct things. So, but yeah, 7 wins. I'm not fully on that, but I'd say.
What was your prediction at the beginning of the year?
Oh, I think mine was higher, but now after the first 3 weeks, I'm like maybe just like 4 total.
I actually had 7 down at the beginning of the year. That's what I thought. I thought maybe a 4-game improvement. So
nice.
And that's what you're looking for. You look at improvement. Our biggest thing this year coming up is we thought we needed to see improvement from Justin Fields. We really didn't care about if we made the playoffs. If we made the playoffs, that'd be gravy. And we kind of compared it to the 2015 Cubs, where these guys are young, we got a bunch of talent, you're bringing in some veterans, and you're making improvements, and you want to see these kids grow and play together and have that cohesiveness. And if lightning strikes, cool, great. If not, we just want to see them improve, and that's what we're looking for in the Bears. The problem is it's been a seesaw, 1 week up, 1 week down, 1 week up, 1 week down. But what I have seen right now is that the Bears defense is giving up 20, 13 and 12 points in the last 3 games. 20, 19 and 12 in the last 3 games respectively. So that is a huge improvement from giving up 41 to the Chiefs, which it's the Chiefs.
It was Taylor Swift's mojo. That's why they lost. So.
I hate Taylor Swift. But you gave up 27 to the Bucks and you gave up 38 to the Packers. I mean, there was a lot of scoring at the beginning. We were hurt and we had a lot of issues on defense and on offense. So I think the team is growing. I think it's progressing in the right direction. We're looking at Justin Fields as being the wild card if we can get these 7 or more wins. So let's put it into 4th down and Bears, Chargers, Sunday Night Football, 7:20 start time. What is this game going to look like, fellas?
Go, Josh. Kick it off.
I think honestly 2 things. It's going to be again the defense and what Justin Herbert does. He seems like he's been up and down this year. So I think what Herbert does that game, and I guess if we block again, we got Khalil Mack on one side, and I'm not sure who the other guy is. I know it's the brother Bosa, and those guys could wreck it up, and we could see another offensive line that's getting battered again. So. I think the line play, and it's going to come down to running again and how Herbert does in that game, in my opinion.
Ivan, go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Bears. I think the Bears are going to pull it off. I'll save a numbers prediction for tomorrow, but I think the Bears are going to come up with a win.
Okay.
I think the offense will continue to run the same way. You'll see a heavy run attack. You'll see, you'll see a heavier formations. So, as long as Tyson Bagent can hold on to the football and do what he did this past game, I think, the Bears could find some success. The Chargers they're a team that's hit or miss. Like, you don't know kind of what you're going to get. Like, they have talent, but it's just, like I said, they're a team kind of in flux. They don't know if they're going to get rid of their head coach moving forward. It's a lot of pieces moving for them. So I think they're a beatable team here as long as the Bears don't turn the ball over, play smart, and play good defense.
Steven?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to, again, running the ball, how the offensive line goes down, and then how confident, Tyson is. Because again, you got the guys rushing you. You're like, again, Khalil Mack is on there, so that's going to be exciting to see him play against his former team. So maybe he has some demons in him that he actually wants to, let out and say, you should have kept me and paid me, right? But I think the defense too. If we're able to take some takeaways, get some interceptions, maybe a pick six like we did this weekend, I think it would be great to see a Bears upset, right? Because I think they're predicted again to be the underdogs.
Oh, you're
I think
gonna be the underdog, yeah.
I think
Yeah, 9 points.
Playing
right.
Crazy.
I think Vegas on DraftKings has a plus 200 right now.
I don't want to hear nothing about betting. I've had a horrible week of losing multiple bets by one leg for the past 10 days.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I made a couple.
You lost to Steven too.
Yeah. Stop bringing that up. Stop bringing up the White Sox, bro.
Yeah, but so I'm excited for that for this Sunday, especially it being Sunday Night Football. So it's prime time, and we don't always have the best history with prime time. So let's see.
Josh, are you hosting prime time?
Yeah, we host every game.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we'll be out here. Yeah, it's not always as many people, just obviously because people got to work the next day. But we'll still have people out here. So
Nice.
You do anything special for those primetime games, or you just keep it always pretty much the same?
Yeah, pretty much the same. It just depends if the weather is nice. Usually night games the door's shut, but we don't really cook. We'll just get pizza or something like that. So it's a little more laid back usually, but we're still trying to rock it. We're winning. So
all right. So Josh, you're picking the Bears.
Picking the Bears.
Oh,
upset.
Steven, what's your pick?
Because Tyson's quarterback, I'm gonna say Bears.
Ivan, don't give me a score. Just give me a pick.
Oh, I already said Bears.
Okay. Wow, we're in unison here. We're gonna say Bears with the upset.
Yeah.
So don't take my advice on betting because I've been getting my ass kicked. But you can take these guys' advice on betting, and it'll probably be the same.
I got a bet going on right now for Monday Night Football. I'm on that ride.
Monday Night Football, I still have a bet going, and if it hits, I'll be okay. So I'm praying, and I'll take all the prayers from our listeners. Josh, where can people find your fan cave on the Instagram or any of your content?
I'm mostly on Instagram. It's Bears Superfan 44 with one S, and that's where I'm at usually. I don't really have nothing going on Facebook. I got TikTok, but I don't do a whole lot on there just because the haters are crazy on there sometimes. So,
Steven.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not me, and I swear it's not. It's usually at if you get a comment and it's 2:00 in the morning, that's from me. But no, I would never. But yeah, I mean, I'm always impressed. It's funny because I'm on TikTok all the time, and being a millennial and a little bit younger now, I've seen your stuff and your video popped up, so I did see it. So that was really awesome. And then when Jose told me that Big Z that you were going to be on, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm always like impressed because I'm like, if they're really bad, like I see fans on TikTok like take their stuff off and burn it. I can only imagine if I had your man cave where I wouldn't want to punch a TV because you see Dallas Cowboy fans when they lose in the playoffs where they like smash the TVs.
Have you ever seen the dude shoot the gun at the TV? The Dallas fan? You ever seen that video? He's at a family. So I'll just tell the story quickly. He's at a family event. Right, it's this scene. Here's the scene. Family event. They're outside. There's a TV. Cowboys lose. This guy just pulls the strap and just starts firing into the TV. Then goes ahead, punches the thing, drops it to the ground, and fires more shots into it.
Wow,
insane. Go look up that video. It's hilarious. It's a Dallas Cowboy maniac. But yeah.
Oh boy,
TVs are too. I don't want to buy no more. I got 12 TVs in there, so I'm trying to buy any extra ones. So.
Right.
Josh, how long has it gone from inception to where it's at now? How long did it take?
Okay, so we moved in here in 2015. This is a 4-car garage. We don't have. It's one of the smaller basements. You really can't put anything down there. It's the furnace, water softener, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have any room for my stuff. So I had Bulls, Chicago White Sox, and some mostly Bear stuff, as you can see. So it kind of started off as me, hey, can I have half the garage, and my wife, because I wanted to have some place for my stuff and hang out. So she said, yeah. Started cutting the metal around the bottom. Most of the stuff around the walls and the bottom part is donated. And my hands are bloody. And the first thing she said was, you're never going to finish it. And so I was like, well, screw you. I'm going to finish this. So now she's upset because I don't ever stop. So
that's right.
But no, we turned it. we turned it into mainly Bears because we were tricked in 2018 to think that we were going to be a good team forever with Matt Nagy when we had those 11 wins or whatever. But that's when I switched over to all Bear stuff, and then been kind of let down ever since then. But yeah, that's when it started. 2015 though.
What's the what's the craziest thing you've installed there yet?
Right there, that Jumbotron. Man, that was
cool.
The Jumbotron.
that was 3 8-hour days, and with help with a friend to get it up. It was just, we had to do some engineering because the ceiling was too low, and I started freaking out. So I had to cut up into the ceiling and put a brace up there, and so it was. I mean, it was decent put together, but just it's hard at the same time. So that was the craziest thing I've done. Is just a lot of work.
Ivan, you got anything from?
No, man, I appreciate you coming on. Like down here, man, I could only imagine doing what you could do, but it's like you said, one step at a time. And right now I'm looking at an abyss of colorful toys and games and shit that my kids have. So so they got half of that side. That's why I call it the dark side. And I have my little corner over here in the basement. So if I could just get, one of them neon signs or something, I'll be happy. I just add 1 or 2 things at a time.
Yeah, that's how you take it slow. Like I said, I've been doing it for 8 years. So
yeah,
that's
Steve?
awesome. No, I mean, I appreciate all the stuff that you had on there. I think it's really cool. I'm a little disappointed you said White Sox, but
sorry. My dad. I was forced to be a White Sox fan growing up. My dad was a huge Sox fan. I actually dated a girl that was a Cubs fan when I was 18. She gave me a T-shirt that was a Cubs, and my dad said, "What are you doing with that?" When I walked in, I said, "My girlfriend gave it to me." So 2 days later, I couldn't find the shirt because she wanted me to wear it, and it was in the fire pit, and all there was the fragments left. And he said, "I told you, if you ever wear a Cubs shirt in here or around here, it's done." So
no, I respect it. That's the way how I am. That's how I am. Like, I'm a big Cubs fan. Ivan is too, and we always give a hard time to Jose, Big Z, and it's a lot of fun. And I totally get it because we made a bet, and if I had lost the bet, I would have to wear a White Sox jersey. I've never put one on, and I feel like I would start getting a rash and hives if I put one on. So I totally get it, but
I got a bet going on with, I don't know if you've ever seen the Drew Cave on Instagram, but we visit back and forth and whatnot. But I've been to his house several times. He's been here, and I went to Green Bay with him last year. But we always got the Packer at the end of the game who's got to wear each other's hat with a picture. And of course, I've lost every time, and I feel like I get a rash every time I wear his damn hat.
Yeah. You know what? I don't mind if I do mind if I'm wearing a hat with Green Bay on it. But for whatever reason, if I put on a White Sox hat, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how Packers with me. I hate the Packers.
Yeah, same.
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, Josh, thank you for coming on. We'd love to have you anytime you want to jump in. Let us know if you're available. Okay. We'll have you on. We love to have your input, and we get to see. And hopefully we can shoot down there to your place next month.
Yeah, anytime. You guys are welcome, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely game for that one.
Yeah. Get out here. You'll enjoy it.
Guys. Thank you. All right, Josh. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. And we're gonna punt it off to a break. A big thank you to our special guest, Josh Haves from the Cave. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to Nowhere on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast. That was so much fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And Josh has an incredible place. And we're going to schedule a live remote from his cave. Hopefully Ivan can call in sick for that Sunday. I'm trying to see.
I really want to go. Like, don't like play with my emotions.
No, I'm not.
I really want to go. You said that we're gonna go to Offset Barbecue this Thursday, so I'm hoping we go.
No, well, we have to go sometime this week. I got to figure out my schedule, but yes, we'll go. The one week I was supposed to go, you canceled, so I don't want to hear it. Ivan, I need you. I'm trying to see if I can get it on Veterans Day. Are you off on Veterans Day?
No, probably not.
Okay, well,
yeah, my off days are Mondays and Tuesdays.
Right. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. You might have to observe Veterans Day on that Sunday, so we can go out there. And
we'll see what happens. We'll see what I could do.
We'll
pull those strings.
Yeah, I want to do that Sunday probably before Veterans Day, so that way we can all go and not worry about Monday. So there's a plan in motion. All right, guys, it's time for the Loop, our Chicago sports roundup, where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
All right. It is the Loop, and we're going to loop around with our Chicago sports teams. We're going to start off with the Chicago Bulls, the Madhouse on Madison. The Chicago Bulls wrapped up their preseason with a 1-4 record, with our All-Stars playing some of the quarters, some of the games, not all the time. And you know what? The 1-4, when you look at the division that they're in with Giannis, and Giannis literally just signed as we are live on TV right now, or on the interweb. Giannis just signed an extension.
Well, that's not good. We're never going to get him done.
3 years, 180 something million. He's not coming. He's not coming. You know, you can sign all his brothers and sisters.
Why would he come here?
Right. For what? No one wants to come here.
Well,
I mean, no
I would say positive
top tier agents here. No team. Not one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're running the team back this year. Again, the starters only played 1 or 2 quarters, like you said. So that's great chemistry that they're building with each other. And like, all right, cool. You know, let's do what the Bears did and have Justin do 6 snaps and like have them all the backup guys play some minutes and have their time to shine. But I'm again not excited. Like, I'm pumped to go see them and watch them, but it just, I feel like this is going to be a 1 or 2 games above 500 maybe, or like 2 games under. I don't know.
Ivan, what's your impression of these Bulls?
I'm in the same boat as Steven. Like, I'm not impressed. I mean, I know it's preseason, but just the operation as a whole, just not impressive. This is not a destination for NBA players. Like, you've tried to sign, a few guys here and there. Like, I really believe they tried to make an effort, but I don't think that they're willing to go ahead and pay heavy, right? They gave Zach an extension kind of because they were put into a corner.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, they pretty much got painted into a corner to give him that money, but. And wasn't it just above, like just
above,
right, exactly, just enough. So it's like pulling teeth to get anything done with the Chicago Bulls. I don't know where they're going to
market team.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know why it's been so difficult to attract. I don't know why it's been so difficult to develop. Young guys. It seems like on other teams you get these college players that develop into things. A few years down the road, all of a sudden you see a guy that you heard about was playing the bench for a while, and now he's starting with other teams. I don't see enough of that with the Bulls, and I don't see this season being anything special either.
No, I again, you're running it back with the big 3 that we have with Vooch and DeMar and Levine, and individually I think they're great. If they had their own teams, I think they would be, perennial all-stars every year. And but altogether, for some reason, they just don't mesh.
And I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's like they take turns, and instead of running an offense to see kind of like whatever's open, whoever has the best shot, take it, but do it in the flow of the offense. And you don't get that with the Bulls. It's like, all right, we're gonna start, tip off, and then Vooch is gonna get the first 6 looks, and then Vooch, sit your butt down on the bench because you're never gonna see the ball again, because DeMar has the second quarter and Levine has the end of the second quarter, and then started the third quarter, and then it's it's like the turns, and it's like, well, if DeMar's off, then Levine's gonna turn it up in the fourth, and vice versa. And it's like, you have a 3-headed monster. They should all be scoring 20 points a game easily. That's 60.
Egos.
Egos
are heavily in the way, and I don't see this team. Like I said, I just don't see it getting better. I think we're going to continue to spin our wheels as a basketball team. I say we, I mean obviously they, but it's not pretty, man. I don't think the trajectory of this team is going to get anybody excited, and I really think it's headed for a blow up. Like eventually, you're going to be dragged through the season, like dragging your nuts against glass, on the concrete.
That's not fun.
It's how it's. No, I'm serious. I really feel like this bull season is going to be one of the worst bull seasons we've seen. I think it's just finally going to hit it's going to finally hit a tipping point, and they're going to be done with it. You're going to see guys doing moves. You're going to see guys.
I don't think they make it.
Yeah,
right. Not at
trade
all.
Deadline is going to.
I don't think this 3 is going to be together at all.
Oh yeah, nope. It just doesn't make sense anymore to force this. They don't. Zach wants to be the hero, and DeMar is here, but like, if you do keep DeMar, like I said, if you do keep DeMar, that's fine. But then like, you got him and Vooch. You're out another player. Like, are you going to get another player the caliber of Zach LaVine? I don't know.
Because Pat Williams isn't it.
Pat Williams, I don't believe is it either. Pat Williams has been a huge disappointment. It goes back to my point of development. The Bulls. You don't see them developing players that go ahead and stick around. Jimmy Butler was probably the last player that I could think about that really developed into something special.
Who was the big tall forward that we had that went over to Salt Lake?
You're talking about Markkanen?
Yeah, Markovic.
Markkanen. Yeah.
They did a horrible job developing Markkanen.
That's what I'm saying. He ended up over there.
No, but I'm saying the last guy that actually developed.
He developed himself, because I was there working for the Bulls.
Markkanen was. They did nothing for him to benefit him. Jim Boylan was just the worst.
Oh, the worst. But Jimmy wasn't. I was working for the Bulls, and I was there 2 hours before the game, and he was the only one working out. He was over there taking jump shots with the trainers and the coaches by himself. After they all did the little practice, he put in all the work by himself. Jimmy's a self-made man. He did not get any help from that team. Well,
then, hey, that's even worse. You had a player develop himself, and you had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, you had no part in that. The Bulls are in a sad state.
I mean, with Kobe White too, 2 draft picks that you have, they're players. They're great, but it's like they're like bench players coming off the bench,
But they're still not developed. And it comes to Ivan's point. None of them have been developed. Jalen Terry, another good asset, has not been developed.
Bobby Portis,
world champion. Bobby Portis. Put respect on his name.
No, of course.
World champion.
I love Bobby Portis when he was here. Bobby was a fan fucking favorite.
Yes.
And you got rid of him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The things that the Bulls do. The Bulls are the worst franchise in this city. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They're the worst franchise in the city. Over the White Sox. No, over the White Sox. Okay. The White Sox are next.
Yeah, they are.
But they're the worst franchise in the city because of the fact that you've had opportunities throughout the years to really go at to really make an impact, and they just don't do it. Like they have this stink around them. It just seems like, I don't want to say it's a curse, but it's just like this perpetual stink that won't fucking leave.
Father like son. That's all I gotta say. Father like son.
There's the stink right there.
I don't know.
It is the Bambino curse. It's the MJ curse. That's what I'm calling it. It is the MJ curse because after he left, I mean, we had some good seasons, some seasons that we should have won. And then
Rose got hurt.
With 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter when we're blowing them out. Dumb shit like that is what happens to a franchise that does dumb shit. It's just very simple. You had a coach who ran it. The players loved him, but he ran his players into the ground, and you can't do that.
Joakim Noah came out, and he was with, I believe, the Barstool guys, saying that Kyle Korver would stay in his car when Thibodeau would be like having practice, and they would play the night before and then have to come into practice the next day, and he would just be sitting in his car because Joakim was like looking at him like, what is he doing? He must have like hated practice the next day, and that's what it was. Like, he worked the guys too hard all the time.
Well, I mean,
it shows though, and then that's why, like, you know, they were like a great defensive team. You're putting in the work.
I think that works for if you're running a college system. You're gonna work hard and it'll pay off. When you're doing it for paid players, right? They need that rest because they're at a higher echelon level. Especially when you had a team with Joakim and Rose and
Boozer and Luol Deng, Kirk Heinrich.
You have veterans and you had young kids, and you cannot burn the candle at both ends. And I understand he was like that. He lived and breathes basketball, and that's great. But that's that generation of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. These kids don't do that anymore. They need their rest. And you know what? The body's not built the way it used to be.
There's more hormones now, which make you like superpowers now.
Yeah. There's a lot more soft tissue injuries that come out of nowhere that we haven't seen in a long time.
Because they're not vaccinated. So right now, the world we live in, get vaccinated. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not doing that. But, you know.
All right. So before we get off the Bulls.
Hold on. I got to say one more thing. I sent you guys a photo on our group chat.
Oh, boy.
And you guys don't have to open it, but you could open it whenever. But I'm just going to say November 12th at 6 p.m., I will be at the Chicago Bulls versus Detroit Pistons game. And those tickets are given to me. And they're great seats. I mean, each ticket is $209. It's section 102, row 5, seat 15 and 16.
He's flexing.
So I will be there. If you want to buy me a beer that day.
Who are you taking? Because you're over here flexing. That means either me or Ivan are going, right?
Would you, if you had those tickets, you would not take someone else?
I would take somebody who's really going to appreciate it.
Oh, I know I have someone who's really going to appreciate it. So I have someone who's going to really appreciate it.
If you're in trouble, blink twice if you're not okay.
No, it's gonna be fun. And I've taken you to a Bulls game, so and we also had a nice dinner, and we didn't have to pay for that, so which was also a nice flex that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, sure is.
So, but I take care of 606 management here. I got to pay my dues for No More on the Weekend when my co-host isn't around for almost 3 weeks. It feels like. So yeah. But I've been wearing more other sports clothing, and we'll probably talk to it in the next segment. So
yeah, well, actually, that's exactly where I'm going to transition to, because I'm not paying Pat Williams $20 million, and neither is Ivan, and neither is Steven, and I don't think it's worth it. So that'll be another player that goes somewhere else and develops into a nice double machine.
Probably.
All right, moving on to the other team that plays at the Madhouse. It is the Blackhawks, and their season's going. They're competitive in just about every single game. They played the Vegas Knights and ended up falling just short. But Connor Bedard gets his first UC goal. How exciting can this team be this season?
I'm having fun. I'm generally watching all the games. I'm having a good time watching it now. Against the Knights, Las Vegas. It was double Las Vegas this weekend. So Friday was the Hawks, and then Sunday was the Bears playing Las Vegas. So double Vegas. But the defense looked great for the Blackhawks. They scored. They were competitive. It was 2-2. Then it got 3-2, and then that's where, the third period where it's like 5-2, right? And it was like pretty much over. I switched the game over once they got to 4 because it's really hard to come back, especially with a young team, to go back and do it. I mean, it's possible, but at that time, it's like it's fun to watch, but I was not expecting a blowout like that in my eyes because they've been really competitive. They maybe lost by 1 or 2 goals, but to lose by 3, it's hard to come back.
Yeah, Ivan, you watching Blackhawks? Or you're not?
I mean, a little bit here and there, like obviously for Connor Bedard, but just here and there. If I happen to pass by and say, "Oh, it's on," cool, I'll watch it. I know they're not I know they're building right now, and I really feel like they have a team that could surprise you. But as of right now, I'm real focused on football, and that's pretty much it. But I peeked here and there. I like what I see from Connor Bedard. He looks like he belongs in the NHL, and I'm very excited to see what he becomes.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I did see some sad videos on Instagram where they had Kane and Taves stuff on clearance, and I was like, "Where is this at?" Because I need some Kane and Taves gear.
Yeah, that's stuff you could always wear.
Yeah, those are like your Savards and your Chelio stuff. Yeah. You're gonna wear that no matter what because they're Hall of Famers in Chicago, and they're gonna be Hall of Famers regardless. So, let me know where that stuff is at because I will buy some Blackhawks gear. And
I would want a Chelios jersey. He's been like my kid favorite hero, like since I was younger. Yeah, going to the UC. So I'd love to meet him in person. I've only been like 500 feet from him, so from the skybox where my seats were. Yeah, but I mean, I want to buy a jersey. I might get one.
I want to see the dead black one.
So that's coming out, I believe, next season. No, they talked about bringing the black ones back, the jerseys.
Yeah, that's going to come out like in 2 seasons. That's because of the brand changing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah,
I think it's Fangenics or Fantastics.
Oh, Fanatics is going to
Fanatics. There you go.
Fanatics is going to be the new thing, which is fine with me. I have no issue with Fanatics.
You have to buy one size up higher because they run a little small. Just an FYI. When it comes to t-shirts, I should.
Well, we're all big boys here, so we're gonna need that double XL. Your sweater's supposed to be bigger, anyways. The sweater's supposed to be, loose. So you don't have to wear anything going to the UC in the middle of winter.
Yeah. Sorry, we had a.
You had a what? Oh boy, did you freeze?
He did.
He did freeze.
No, I keep cutting off it in there. I don't know why I keep losing signal.
Yeah, pay your internet bills, sir. All right, let's transition to the Diamond. I know right now we're watching Game 6 just finished, and the Diamondbacks just forced the Game 7 as we're recording right now live, and as you're listening to this on Tuesday and going forward, we have Game 7 going on. Texas and Houston. Texas up 4-1 in the third. This has been nuts. But MLB playoffs has been crazy, and are we still excited about MLB baseball right now?
I am. I mean, I kind of want the Rangers to pull it off now.
Yeah, I mean,
same.
I'm pulling for the Rangers, and I wouldn't be mad if Houston gets in because Abreu's in there. Right. He gets to give his little boy the iPad after he hits a home run. That was kind of cute. Altuve got his little iPad and some chicken nuggets after he hit a home run. But it's been exciting. Schwarber hitting Schwarber bombs. Bryce Harper just being Bryce Harper and hitting moonshots.
Every time I see Kyle Schwarber, I cry. Like, it's just like, why?
Yeah, same.
Why? 10?
Same.
You couldn't afford 10 mil?
Yeah. 10 mil.
Couldn't afford 10 mil.
$10 million.
It wasn't like we were gonna get a DH anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like it was.
You already knew the DH.
What's it doing to a goblin?
Exactly.
You had your DH set for the next 10 years. He's a softball guy. Let him hit softballs.
Now we're looking for a left-handed bat. You know what I'm saying? We could have gotten him. Yeah, I know.
Hey, you can't be laughing right now, man.
Oh, no, I can laugh.
I mean,
misery loves company right now because my team's in the fucking dumpster. It's still on fire over there.
At this point, we're in the same place. So I think all is fair.
We're in the same
fair. Speaking of re-signing, there's rumblings that Hendricks and the Cubs are trying to work out a deal for him to come back. What do you guys think?
Didn't I say that last week?
You did. I said I called it.
Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, when we talked about the list of people that are free agent pitchers, I said, I bet you any money that they're going to re-sign them because it doesn't look, there's a couple of guys that are on there that, yeah, we could re-sign, but it's like, are they going to go after them? Probably not. And look, they're probably going to re-sign them for maybe a year or two with an option.
I think the Cubs will
I guarantee
moves. They'll make some trades in the off season before we get to spring training to address some of those pitching needs, because there's not a lot in the free agent market. They might take a flyer on a reclamation project here and there, something that, that someone's coming off an injury, or a guy that's been bounced around or whatever, something like that to plug the hole in the ship. But right now, I really think that they're going to have to make a major trade to get an asset to be part of your pitching staff. You also have the Stroman issue. What's the price point that you're bringing him back after being hurt, after being ineffective going down the stretch, especially in your playoff run? So I think the Cubs need to change a lot at the pitching staff, and you always need bullpen arms. I don't care if you have the best bullpen this year. That's not going to be the case next year. You always got to add the best bullpen arm that you can, and see where they fall, because Texas had the worst bullpen, and yet they're almost in the World Series. So it really just it goes in cycles. So you guys tell me, you're the Cubs fans. Tell me what you think.
Go ahead, Ivan.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking forward going into this next year, them making a definite splash in free agency. There's nothing out like the COVID excuse,
Yep.
That's null and void at this point. You should have recouped.
Mm-hmm.
Or because right now this is the time frame. Like next year is like the exact year that they pointed to contending again in 2024.
Correct.
Being real contenders.
Yep.
And you had an opportunity this year to go ahead and maybe pull something off like they did in 2015 when they got to the NLCS.
They could have been the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Right, exactly. Like you could have had something there. In retrospect, I mean, I don't think it would have happened, but you never know.
You
right?
never know.
You never know. But no, I feel like this team is going to make a definite splash in free agency. It will be a big bat. It will be multiple arms. I feel like
Pete Alonso. I want Pete Alonso. Give me Petey.
Give me Pete. Give me Juan Soto. I'm good with either or both.
Okay.
But I need you to make a move with the assets, with the money. You need to spend the money to get some big time players. We need both corners, and we need a big lefty bat. So figure that out.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, I guess you can go look at the Mets, who have been such a disappointment and continue to pillage all the talent they have there that they can't put together. There's a couple teams just like that. I mean, the Dodgers, another team that had a lot of talent. San Diego. But I think those guys, either they want to get under the cap maybe a little bit, because they have a lot of big contracts. Maybe you can, steal somebody away from them for some prospects. But I mean, we in Chicago, we value our prospects so highly, and that's a problem. And I think, and I've said this before on the show, prospects are suspect until they're on the major league and they're producing. They're suspect to me. You can talk about your Pete Crow Armstrong. Yes, he had a couple good series. Can he do that sustained over 162? Can he make the adjustments when pitchers make adjustments on him? Can he get past the sophomore slump? Like, I'm speaking from experience, from all the prospects we had on the South Side that have not produced, all but one. And Abreu is not a prospect because he was a grown-ass man when we signed him through the Cuban portal. So that's not a prospect. So we don't have that. So I feel like, go after the proven commodity over a suspect.
Okay.
I mean, hey, if that's how you feel,
I'm just,
I mean, we can't say that on the north side because we have Chris Bryant as one of our prospects that we got developed, and that guy was an all-star. Same thing with Anthony Rizzo. Javi was Javi. He was good at a point, and then, he was like a slugger.
Rizzo wasn't the prospect.
Anthony Russell, Edison Russell.
home run by Alex Bregman. It's now 4-2.
Yep, sure is off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that fucking stadium.
So do I. I hate it when we have to play there.
I hate
No,
it.
we don't. But that's my argument with that. So I'm excited. Again, once it comes April, which will be
I love
before you know it, because apparently it's almost the end of.
I love the winter meetings and knowing who's getting signed. And all that it's like Christmas morning for me for baseball. I'm just geeked over it.
Oh yeah, it's very exciting.
And they start buying gear again.
Yeah, you do. I think as long as they don't, completely diminish the farm system like it did. And it wasn't their fault. Like all their players came up, their top players came up, and they were ready to go. And then when you look and you trade Gleyber for Araldis, and you look back and it's like they did what they had to do and they won the ring.
Right, you got the ring.
That's it. Now this time around, you can't have that because when those guys needed help and they needed more players to come up and be developed by the Cubs didn't have them.
Nope.
They didn't have the arms. We had to go spend to go find other guys. So like that's the focus of Jed Hoyer, I feel like, is don't allow that to happen again where you're sitting with talent that needs help and you can't deliver the help because you can't continue to spend and you have no talent in your farm system.
I think that they didn't do enough at the trade deadline to help out the team.
Yeah, I agree.
The bare minimum. They're like, oh, we want to stay together. And it's like, all right, cool, I'll let you guys stay together. Like, well, we need an arm. Okay, we'll get you Kua's a reclamation project, and we'll get you this. And it was like, really, bro? You shopping at the Wish? Like, this is bogus, bro. And they still went out there and ran some games, and they came into contention. I give the Cubs, lots of props because they really were supposed to be there at the final, all the way at the end, and they didn't make it, which is fine. But they had a successful season in my eyes. So.
Ivan, what was the song that we had? Because you know how 2005 they had "Don't Stop Believing" for the White Sox, and then for the Phillies it's that one song that they took from I don't know what other team. Did we have a song except "Go Cubs Go"? Right?
Our song's "Go Cubs Go."
Right.
I mean,
I know, but I'm like they had like an actual song.
Adopting somebody.
We're not a loser team that needs that, but
I mean,
we don't need to solicit rights to a band and keep paying them money when
He was there at the stadium. He was there at the parade.
I know we should have a Pearl Jam song. It should be a Pearl Jam song since
Eddie Vedder. You did have
right?
a song. Yes, you did. Yeah, you had a Pearl Jam song, so don't come at me.
We'll start singing. No, I'm not even gonna go there.
Don't stop believing.
That song.
I stopped believing. I wanted them to lose.
Song.
I
that song
listen
was
to that
like,
song.
Look, I'll admit this. That song was good. And after the millionth time of hearing that fucking song, I hate that song.
Dude, it's been 18 years.
I despise that song.
It's been 18 years. You can let it go now.
It still sticks. It sticks.
It's 18 years. You can let it go.
Jordan Alvarez just hit a triple. Thank you, Chris.
Off the wall. I'm watching.
Nice.
As he says it happens on my TV. I'm a little behind. I don't have live TV. I have the Hulu.
I got three
Same
boxes, picture in picture.
Nice.
Oh, you fancy.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with Stirring a Pot, and we'll wrap up this amazing episode. All right. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company.
Did Big Z just disconnect?
Chicago.
All right. We're gonna have to wait for a minute because Big Z just disconnected.
For 15%.
All right, we're good now. Okay.
Off your entire.
You can't mute yourself.
15% off of your entire order.
Hey man, I'm just learning this, man.
What up?
This
It's Martin
StreamYard.
Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fan
podcast.
Yeah, it's wild. It's hard. I cannot, and remind me, do not run the visual and the audio at the same time. Stick to one lane, sir. That's what I need to do. I'm so used to with 166 that I've been doing this all by myself. It's hard to be like, oh my god, I'm gonna panic.
So you play the smallest violin right now.
Right.
Oh, you. Steve. I know Ivan does both, so he's used to this. So, Steven, yeah, fuck you. Welcome back to the Chicago Sportsman Podcast with Big Z, Ivan, and Stevie-B. And it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is.
Oh, yeah. It's stirring the pot time, ladies and gents.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's time for stirring the pot. I thought that Josh was going to stay on the entire show, but he had to leave after the Bears segment. But I really had the question of what is the best tailgate food for a Bears game? Specifically for a Bears game, because you've got to have Chicago foods. Now, you go to a White Sox game or you go to a Cubs game and you go tailgate, at someone else's stadium because they can't tailgate. What is your craving? What do you want to have?
Yeah. Ivan, you go.
No, you go.
Oh, okay, cute. You go.
Okay, well, if you're gonna tailgate with Jose, you're gonna get some warm sandwiches, so you don't want that.
I've never seen warm sandwiches. I'm gonna get a knuckle sandwich.
But I'm always a fan of having pizza or bringing something or buying something. Like I'm okay with sandwiches. Yeah, man. I don't want to cook there and then come back out and then my car's on fire because I didn't turn off the charcoal off.
You're not doing.
I'm not doing that, and that's a lot of work.
You're not doing it.
Yeah,
right.
I don't tailgate. I go to tailgate.
Go ahead.
I go to tailgates and I bring chips or booze. I don't cook. I don't cook. I don't clean. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, you do enough. You brought the booze.
Right, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'll bring the booze, but I'm okay with just bring Jersey Mike's or something easy.
How you gonna give me shit about
or eating in the stadium?
Now you bringing up Jersey Mike's.
Because Jersey Mike's, I get it and it's cold cuts. When with you, it's in a Ziploc baggie where water and ice come in there because it's in the cooler.
Well, that's what your mom gave me for you, bro.
Huh?
Dude, you don't appreciate that shit? That's old school, bro.
Your mom gave me that with the little 25-cent juice, and she said, make sure you feed Steven.
Yeah,
so make sure you have a little sandwich there.
Little Hugo drop.
I don't believe you, because my mom would probably would give you $25 and you pocket the rest of it.
You're fucking snippy.
That's sassy,
I've been to tailgates with you. Actually, we went to Milwaukee for that game up there. So we went to tailgates. Yeah, that's right. We actually go to sporting events outside the state. What is your go-to tailgate, Chicago tailgate food?
Bro, after those tacos at the tailgate, tacos, man. Honest to God, if you could cook some tacos up right there, tacos are the go-to. But traditionally, I mean, it all depends, man. You got burgers, cool. You got brats, the traditional American grill stuff. That's pretty much what I'd be down for. I'm not opposed to sandwiches, but you got to have other shit. You got to have a grill present, and the sandwiches have to be if somebody doesn't want, you know what I'm saying? Somebody doesn't want to eat heavy or something like that, right. Or just somebody eats light like that. That's all I'm just saying. That's all it is. He's all pissed off. He's gonna go fucking slam. He's gonna go. Don't do it.
Call his mom. Did you give Jose $25?
He said he got a Subway $5 footlong.
No, I agree with you. Bring the sandwiches. You know what? Those sandwiches are going to come really handy after you come out of the stadium and you're still nice and lit. That is going to.
That is a smart idea, Jose. Keep the sandwiches for post game.
Yep, put them in a cooler.
Then
put them in a cooler.
Right.
Smash.
Put them in a cooler, and that's your post game meal, so you can level out with another beer in your hand after the game is done.
There's nothing like a fucking 7:30, 7:30, 8 a.m. burger. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and a beer. Like, you got a burger, you got a beer. It's 8:00. The Bears are coming. Like, there's nothing that beats that for me. Like, those are the most enjoyable times. I mean, other than outside my family, like spending time with them.
Yeah.
No, man, I've been to multiple tailgates, and my favorite was when I was a season ticket holder for the Chicago Fire. I'm not ashamed to say that, just because I enjoyed the people that I was tailgating with.
Mhm.
I literally had season tickets, so I can go tailgate with my friends for 3 hours prior to a game. And then I'd show up to the game 15 minutes in, and hey, there's a soccer game, and then go back out and tailgate for another 2 hours. And there'd be times where the game is like at 11 a.m., and we'd get there at 8 a.m., and they're cooking bacon and eggs, and we have Canadian bacon and regular bacon, and some guy made French toast on the what is that called, the flat
Skillet.
Flat top.
Skillet.
Flat top.
the flat top. Not a
Oh.
skillet. They did have a skillet. He was also making paninis. This guy was paninis. He was a chef. We call him Chef Greg, and this guy, every time we went to a game, he had a different menu. And all I would say is, I would be like, Steven, hey, what do you need me to bring? He'd be like, oh, well, give me like 6 pounds of arrachera and maybe like 14 brats. Okay, cool. And I would bring it, and he would cook it his way, and I would like happy to be like in heaven to have a chef cook for us. And we would have tons of drinks. And
Did he have a little tip jar out?
He got to pretty much eat for free.
He should have.
All he did was cook, because everyone brought him what he needed. So
Right.
you get the
No,
best
I get
of
it.
both worlds. You get to eat good, and you're paying.
I mean, I would have to pay him for the time. Like, he's sitting there on the grill. Yeah, he got to eat, but he's like on the grill working.
No, he
Like,
wanted to.
everybody's getting drunk and everything.
No, he was.
You're right.
The wedding and
No,
shit.
no.
Like,
He would make his special. He was like, this is what I want to make for this game. He would make that, and if you wanted to make your arrachera, your burgers, your brats, then you can jump on the grill right after that, and he's done. He made his special, menu, and then he was out. And then he was, drinking. And, for me, that was great, because I didn't know anybody with the Chicago Fire. I just bumped into these people and then made great lifelong friends. And I still talk to them to this day, even though the Chicago Fire really, really, really suck. I think they're lower than the Bulls right now.
we should go to a tailgate, even though I do have work at 2. We should just show up at one of these at like 6:00. We'll do a couple shots. No, I'm joking. we'll hang out. We'll get some video.
No, I'm not kidding. I'd do
And
it.
then, well, you don't have to work, but we'll hang out. We'll get some video, and then
don't.
you know what I'm saying? You guys like head to the game. Like, we should do that shit.
Yeah. Then we can go to a bar outside in that area anyways. So the West Loop.
Right.
Yeah, we go to Bandit, or
Sure.
or Howl at the Moon, or there's one that's on Madison. So,
Howl
yeah.
at the Moon.
Yeah, it's a dive. You wouldn't know that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or you go to Boulevard. I was there like on
Picking up
the other
coolers.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
All right. Before we go, what are you guys watching that is in sports?
The new Frasier.
Yeah. How's it going?
First 2 episodes, I like it. Definitely needs more time to breathe. Obviously, you need to keep building characters, but I think it's on the right trajectory. I think it's on the right path. I like it a lot. It's a little nostalgic, but like I said, it's a different setting, so it's a completely new show. It's not. I mean, you have some aspects of the old show in Seattle, but it's not really. They're not really crossing over. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a what's it called? Like it's not a bunch of member berries. You know what I mean? Like, just here and there, you'll get a, this person was involved with said person, and you're like, oh shit, like,
Yeah, you get references.
Right. So that's pretty much it. But otherwise, I like it. I can't wait to watch episodes 3 and 4, and then I'm rewatching Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Nope.
Can't go wrong with that. Steven, what you watching?
All right, so I watched this movie. It's on Netflix, and I believe it's called Old Men or Old Dads. I
Old
think
Dads.
that's what it's called.
I think it's called Old Dads, because if you're
Old
watching,
Dads.
that's a different kind of show, sir.
Oh, that's a different kind of site too, not on Netflix.
Like, wait a minute, this is Pornhub.
I got it. It is old dads. It is old dads. So it's with Bill Burr, Bobby Cannavale. It's on Netflix. It's really funny. It's I was shown this movie. I was recommended to watch it, and I'll give her credit for that. And it was a great movie. It was hilarious. It was very funny.
It's Bill Burr.
I enjoyed it. Well, also, like, I was pointed out that I'm somewhat similar to him in some ways, because he's an asshole and he talks like how I talk sometimes, but not on the show. Maybe I know on the weekend. You could check each episode out every Monday.
Sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much. Well, yeah, or maybe not even one this week because I'm pretty spent. It's like 8:30, so.
Okay.
But no, that's been pretty much all I've been watching. Getting ready for this Halloween weekend. You know, stoked.
Oh shit! It's already the 23rd.
So,
I didn't even realize it's already the 23rd. Halloween weekend is the next coming weekend. So
I want to be a giant Smurf.
So I'm gonna choke you till you turn blue, or what? How can we help you with that?
No, I need you to paint me full body everywhere.
That's up to your assistant because your mom doesn't pay enough for that.
Oh, maybe it's a big weekend, so
Let's see.
What are you watching, Jose?
I went to watch at the theaters The Killers of the Flower Moon. With Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro. It's a Martin Scorsese film. 3.5
It's on Apple
hours.
Plus for free.
It is not on Apple Plus for free.
I could have sworn it is. I saw it on there. But okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Anywho, that's a true crime tale about oil, murder, and the birth of the FBI, set in 1920 Oklahoma. It is a long fucking movie. 3.5 hours. And it's
his last one was The Irishman, and it was 3.5 hours. That was 3 hours.
Yeah, but The Irishman was good, even though it was a slow burn. It was good. This is such a slow burn, and like you already know what is going to happen 90 minutes in, and you know what the consequences are. You know, like everything. Like they dragged it on for 3.5 hours. It was literally done in 90 minutes. There's a lot of unnecessary scenes, but I guess. Martin Scorsese can do whatever how he wants. So I would say it's on a streaming platform to watch it. It's got 8.2 reviews. I still thought it was just a slow movie. A lot of people I was with were falling asleep. I was up and interested because it's a cool story with Native Americans and how they were mistreated and been taken advantage by the white man.
Really?
So yeah. Do some history.
I didn't know that.
The more you know, Rainbow.
Oh man, people are blowing off fireworks here. They got nothing else to do on a Monday night. Yeah. So if you hear that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was random.
Yeah, it's okay. Other than that, I've been rewatching, old shows.
Park for you.
Nothing. A Humble Park for you? No.
No, I said it's Humble Park. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a normal thing. All right, I've got nothing else. Anything else you guys want to talk about before you get off your chest while we're in this therapy session? No,
good.
You're good, Steven?
No. I'll text you guys off air, but I might have some plans on Sunday night. I know Ivan, you probably work, so if you want to keep your buzz going on, I'll let you guys know.
All right. Sounds good. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. A big thank you to our guest host, and our guest that we got this week. The man with the most famous bear cave, Josh Havens. Thank you for coming on the show. Hopefully you can come on more often. You're awesome, and thank you for all the hospitality. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago. Use our promo code TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your shirts now. As Steven said, you can catch his show. It is called the No Water on the Weekend with Steven and Sean, a pop culture forward podcast that dabbles in funny trivia, film, television, music, and Chicago-centric news and happenings. New episodes weekly. Look at that.
Right.
See how I changed that? Yeah, it's weekly.
Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to Ronesh, serious beats and custom made for the beats we played on the audio version of today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for moment merch and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us at True Shy Fans on Twitter and on TikTok. You can find us on Facebook, IG, and reach out to us on our email. Want to hear from you? Reach out to us at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. You can find Ivan where at?
You can find me at IvanV_TTNL on X. You can also find me tomorrow night, 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern, on another Bear show. Just look up the Tape Never Lies Network on YouTube. You can go ahead and find me there. Gonna talk some more Bears, man. That's what I do. So I love to do so. Talking more Bears, giving you a breakdown of what's to come next week against the Chargers, and definitely cutting up some interviews and breaking some of the stuff down that the coaches say that could be either BS or legit, because majority of the times it's a bunch of bullshit that they give you, but
100%.
yeah, should be fun.
Can you post on 2 YouTubes at the same time?
Can I post on 2 What do you mean?
2 YouTube channels at the same time? Probably not, right?
I don't know. I don't see why not.
Okay. Well, if you want, you can post it on the 606 Media. See if you can get some more viewers there.
Yeah. I'll
Traction.
definitely do that.
Yeah, traction there. Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Steven, where can they find you and your obnoxious post?
You could find No on the Weekend on Instagram, but weekend is spelled WKND. Jose's been filling in. Sean, I feel like, has been gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Feels like.
It's now 8-2. Sorry, 8-2.
No, that's cool. Rangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like,
great.
I'm about to
That's
watch
great.
it.
Don't stop believing.
Yeah. It's a fucking song. It's funny that you're taunting Jose with it, but I just
I know. I get the chills every time, and I want to go throw up a little bit, but it is what it is. And thanks for listening, everyone, for being here for True Chicago Sports.
All right, y'all. I'm Big Z. Thank you to Ivan and Steven. We'll see you next time for episode 167. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
A few moments later.
Wait, the Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were.
This is not how we wanted it to go. You almost can't even make it up. It's that bad.
Oh, my goodness! Didn't see that coming! Up diddly-dee! What? Did we just become best friends? Yup!
You have a lot of incest.
That's real. Shut your mouth.
Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos! That's all. I shouldn't have those artichoke poppers.
Thanks, Cubs!